Hello, welcome back to the channel. I apologize if the volume is a bit low, but it is a bit late while I'm filming this. So this will be a bonus for Sagittarius. So let's dive in. Stability, financially, independence is really important here as well. You could be building towards something new financially as well. This could be like a new goal of some sort. You could be coming out of something toxic with the devil in the reverse on the bottom. You could be healing something as well. You could have been dealing with an Aquarius. I feel like there's a sense of ease or protection as well coming in. You could see the cat in the bottom of that photo just kind of chasing after a mouse or a rat. So something that was trying to steal from you, take from you, could be being chased out by spirits around you. Yeah, with the High Priestess coming out, you can even see in this card the kind of overlooking spirit, right? So especially in your collaborations or connections, I'm getting like a bug zapper here as well, like mosquitoes. It is that kind of, yeah, something that was a burden more so in the past. But it looks like you're letting go of something, which is allowing you to actually come into greater stability. Um, Feminines could also be quite supportive for you at this time, like a sense of ease and grace and happiness and joy. But there is something about turning off your emotions, is what I'm seeing as well, and focusing on the bag. Okay, anything else for Sag? You could have been dealing with somebody like a Scorpio. You could have water sign placements. Yeah, but it looks like you're leaving something behind, and that's divinely ordained or timed. Yeah, strong Scorpio energy here. There could have been something quite tumultuous here as well. I feel like something was very hidden to you as well. There was some kind of disappointment here that could have been hidden to you. Tell us more. You could be seeing something more clearly regarding a commitment and exiting a commitment. Maybe you have different values than somebody else. Anything else? I feel like you're deciding a lot of things at this time, and it's allowing you to move out of any kind of like anxiety or allowing you to come into more safety, security. Let's grab you a piece of advice for the bonus, Sagittarius. Not work in Anam Kara. So you could have been like dealing with karma or unraveling something as well. I feel like not everything is it seems with Cat Sith here. Yeah, there's some kind of sadness here. Maybe the spirits don't support something here. Let's grab some bonus messages. Liar wanted to show up, so maybe somebody was lying to you or was a liar, or you realize this. They are bipolar. Wow. Yeah, this could be somebody who's dangerous to be around. Be loyal only to yourself, your dreams, and your goals. Acknowledge the truth. Yeah, so if somebody's asking for your loyalty, be sus about it, I would say. Acknowledge the truth. Acknowledging the truth makes you strong and right near the Empress here. So I feel like your ability to let go of something that doesn't serve you allows you to move into greater grace, greater happiness. It's not your responsibility to heal other people's issues, especially if these people are abusive, right? Take advantage of the current. So you could be moving with the flow and life could be good. We cannot live without courage, pursuing highest purpose and facing fears. So this could have been something that was kind of meant for you to kind of encounter so that you could move beyond it or realize lessons that you had to learn. Don't do things that don't resonate with you, right? So pay attention to your gut. They had a lot of third parties. So this person could be a cheater, right? We did see liar come out. So I'm sorry that it's kind of a negative reading. Let's see if we can get some oracles. Tea magic, interesting. Reach into your subconscious and pull from the source and weave magic with intention, and the answers unfold. So maybe doing like ritual magic or something like that. Weave magic with intention and the answers unfold. So especially if you're asking for guidance, crows could be relevant, like taking some time out to have some tea and rest and relax so that you can get the realizations. Yeah, this could be something to do with an Aquarius, Scorpio, Gemini. Well, let's see. Thank you for being here. Let's see, 38. Answers and hard truths. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely something here. Like, I feel like whoever's watching that doesn't like this reading is not going to like it if they want to stay naive or in delusion land, right? Or if this reading doesn't apply. But if this reading does apply to you and you know it applies to you, There's definitely something here like a poison apple kind of vibe, like, Snow White's mother giving her a poison apple. So this could have come from the motherhood or from your entire family. Maybe you're used to abusive family members, and so you enter relationships with abusive people and you stay in denial because these are patterns that you have repeated since childhood, right? So that you can survive, but you're an adult now, so you need not put yourself in dangerous situations now, right? So your higher self chose this card because the answers you seek have been right in front of you for some time, but you've chosen not to see them. Tea Magic visits you when there's a hard truth that has to be heard, and you're experiencing a form of denial. You may even be doing it unintentionally as your ego's way of protecting you from something that's hurtful or difficult to understand, right? Especially if you're around sadistic people. Tea Magic is a spiritual intervention telling you that while it might be hard, it's time to rip off the band aid and face the truth of your situation. I actually heard a great quote tonight, which was the road to hell is paved it's wait, what was it? It was like easy choices, hard life, hard choices, easy life, and it was like the road to heaven is paved with it feels like hell, and then the road to hell feels like heaven, right? So take time to think about where illumination needs to occur. Have you been avoiding? What have you been avoiding in your life? Know that ignoring it only makes the situation worse. And if you don't take action now, you could face significant consequences, right? So if you allow somebody to enter your life consistently, constantly, get comfortable, has, acting like a doormat, it could get very dangerous, right? I just heard a story on TikTok about a woman, and she's so strong, and it's just a shame that women go through these things. But her ex-boyfriend, came to her and shot her in the eye, and then shot her from inside from down there, right? So shot her twice, and she managed to survive. But he shot her. I mean, what kind of sadistic, it's just terrible. And she was a beautiful girl, and she still is, But she, you could tell that definitely he was, just that kind of domination, that aggression. Fortunately, this card means there's time to turn circumstances around. Your situation is still challenging, but deep down, you already know what you have to do to overcome this obstacle. Before you face the monster, you have to acknowledge it's real. This could be in work. This could be to do with a Taurus or Gemini or Aries energy. I never pay attention to the book of this, tarot book, but I am right now. Yeah, you can even see. I never even noticed she's like has an apple in one hand and a candle. So what do you accept? What do you choose? And it's like you see how the crow is right near the candle of illumination, and yet there's an apple, a very tempting apple, right? And that's what happens with the underworld. That's how Persephone was able. Sorry, that's how Hades was able to trap Persephone, to grape her and, create winters on the earth, right? So just be careful. That's all I want to say. I mean, it's always difficult when you have to face a dark truth, right? So that somebody might be unsafe or dangerous or abusive, domestic violence, etc. Anything else for Sagittarius? Yeah. But I feel like whatever's happening is definitely going to lead you to increased happiness, but you're going to have to go through it first a little bit. You don't have to put yourself in danger. Her unerring instinct for spiritual protection arises spontaneously even when we don't realize we need it. Sometimes we don't realize how far we've become entangled in that which is not good for us. We do not realize we need Kali's powerful intervention. Knowing what to allow and what to fight for or against requires wisdom. Holding the space for an inner-outer conflict to be resolved involves discipline. Chamunda is the fearlessness, wisdom, and patience and discipline needed to conquer a difficult situation. She is with you now. While Black Chamunda is a ferocious warrior goddess, she takes her name from Chanda and Munda, two great demons whom she defeated. Thus, her name is a symbol of gaining power. So there could be something about like taking your power back. There could be two specific people in your life that are quite demonic, or controlling, or devilish. Her presence indicates that you shall not only overcome an obstacle, but gain complete mastery over the energies that gave rise to it. Right. So it's kind of going through those lessons. What were you a people pleaser? Were you repeating dynamics that you had seen? Were you not? What are the lessons? What are the changes that have to happen in the psyche to transform the outer reality? You shall never be troubled by it again. Swathed in blood red light representing, and this could be like a key element to why you reincarnated, right? Swathed in blood red light representing her life force and power, Chamunda has multiple arms, which indicates divine activity. The skull and the crescent moon resting atop a funeral pyre form her crown, symbolizing her status as a goddess of death and karmic retribution. Yet she is protective, and her three deeply socketed eyes are so intense they are said to burn away all evil in all worlds and dimensions. She provides protection from destructiveness, including gossip and other kinds of black magic, which, not unlike gossiping, uses intentions, words, and action to work against another's well being. This could have been somebody who was shit talking you even to your face, right? Emotional abuse, gossiping, using intention, words, and actions to work against another's well-being. So this person could have been depleting your life source, your energy. Cortisol levels could have been rising. Chamunda is referred to as queen of her soul tribe, a group of ancient mother goddesses known as the Matrikas. She is the only one worshipped independently and the only one not connected to a masculine. She is independent, fierce, and a unique emanation of the wild feminine power of Devi, the great divine goddess. She is an expression of Kali, referred to interchangeably as Kali Ma in the Puranas, ancient Hindu texts that date back more than 2,000 years. The Matrikas express a consciousness that is potentially protective and destructive, depending on your actions. These beings are particularly upset by negative expressions of the masculine. When expressed by male or female, the masculine energy can be healthy or toxic. When it is healthy, it is strong, creative, protective, and generative. When it is toxic, it is exploitive, dominating, and damaging, seeking progress at any cost. I actually saw a TikTok recently, and I just felt so angry after watching it. And it was this man, and she was recording this abusive man that she's involved with, and he was not allowing her to sleep. It's just disgusting. This is profoundly disruptive, and rather than the positive destructive power of Kali Ma is the unchecked demonic destructiveness of greed. The Matrikas are fierce, and Chamunda in particular retaliates against toxic masculinity, causing havoc in the lives of those who live by such values. So I feel like this is not a time to be too soft. I feel like this is a time to evoke stronger deities of protection. Chamunda is worshipped as the ruler of the sacred erection. This is the symbolic of her power over masculine energy. When the feminine has been desecrated in any way, she does not hesitate to retaliate with fierce compassion, which, from our human perspective, might seem like chaos. Yet the phallus is also a symbol. That's interesting, chaos, because I was watching a lot of clips with Yennefer Vanderberg or whatever from the Witcher series, where she basically uses chaos, right? And she comes from such like tumultuous beginning story into her power, right? Where her parents were like, she was neglected in her family, she was neglected constantly until she became older. Yet the phallus is also a symbol of her, and not only neglected, like abused. Yet the phallus is also a symbol of her honoring the potential power and creativity of healthy masculine energy, facilitating safe development in the human psyche. So maybe you need to tap more into your masculine, balance that out, right? I actually love this card. I used to not like it, but right now I feel really happy about it. Like, look at that. I know it's a little creepy, but there's something so powerful about the smile. Like, I don't know. I kind of like it. It seems very nice, actually. Hmm. Bones could be relevant, bone magic, voodoo, things like that. Despite her inherent drama and intensity, Chamunda is beloved by the heroic heart. She assists us when we need to find strength to overcome. We did see strength in your first reading. To overcome our psychological limitations and inertia, to access, integrate, and sustain a higher frequency state of being. Bringing about a permanent structural change of the psyche is hard work, because it's going to be long lasting for the rest of your life, right? It requires commitment. However, bullying ourselves into being different or applying more and more willpower only tends to create resistance, adverse reactions, and exhaustion. It is more a case of applying wisdom and finding the balance between persistence, determination, and compassionate rest and release. So we can integrate and rebuild from within. For some personality types, taking a rest requires as much discipline as engaging in activity. And I think we saw in your first reading about actually taking that rest and not being distracted in multiple avenues, which somebody could have been trying to do, right? That sleep deprivation, right? Abusive tactics to keep you off your game, keep you off your center. Learning to move between the two as appropriate takes strength and wisdom, mastering the balance to nudge ourselves forward on our path and facilitate change, but not so much that we feel defeated or even before we gain traction is advanced in our work. Chamunda has the power to accomplish it. Her presence in a reading is important, of a truly exceptional breakthrough on your path, the healing of the masculine and the protection of the sacred feminine within your heart. This could be at work or give and take dynamics. This could be regarding a Cancer or something about like home life, like familial patterns, or be careful of who you live with, who you move in with, right? Maybe we'll pull one of these diamond cards. I feel like this is like allowing, this is like an initiation before another level. Yeah, the healer. Apocalypsis on the bottom. There could be some kind of like crash, some kind of like big kind of ending. It doesn't have to be huge. Strong Cancer, Aquarius energy, Leo, Taurus. Scorpio. There's something like a warning here as well, like warning, warning, radioactive, right? Removing the veil of deception. Wow. Apocalypsis indicates a particularly painful time, one that unfolds when two disparate dynamics occur simultaneously, pulling the psyche in seemingly opposing directions, right? The lie and the truth, right? The first is a lifting of the veil. This means truths that have been kept in the dark are revealed and seen and unearthed. No matter how relieving it is to witness them come to the light, an element of despair or grief follows, right? Or even anger, right? The second dynamic is the regeneration that comes from the wreckage of the revealed truth. But at the same time, I feel like it's a good thing. You know, it's like kind of when you have like a wound or like you have like a sliver and it's just infected. It's just in there. It's getting infected. It's bringing blood poisoning, whatever, and you're not removing it. It gets worse and worse and worse, and it gets very bad. But when we rip it out, yes, it's hurtful, it's bleeding, it's paining, it's painful, but then it heals. We finally have a chance to heal, right? The second dynamic is the regeneration that comes from the wreckage of the revealed truth. The old narrative breaks and a new story forms. Apocalypsis is similar to the forest fire's devastation for the sake of regeneration. The veil lifts and we see who and what has been hiding from the nakedness of truth. A child is born. Have faith in the process and hold on to your center. That is the only way. When light, unknown becomes known and guides the way. When dark, nihilism, fatalism, hopelessness. Now, I feel like this is the light side. I feel like there's a lot of lightness with this card, especially as well. The unknown becomes known and guides the way. Maybe you were confused, even like somebody could have been keeping you off your game, which was confusing you, distracting your energy. Or if this is not somebody else's, could have been just, life. Go deeper. Michael Mead's Why the World Doesn't End. The movie This Is the End. So there could be a lot of culminations, especially as we're moving to a lot of new energy astrologically with Saturn and Neptune moving into Aries. We're touching on like a new frontier kind of, and this is the start of a whole 200-year cycle. A lot of interesting aspects astrologically are happening right now. This card has a strong relationship to Aletheia. If both are present, you've got some real uncovering to do and take heed. And I feel like this is so that you can move into a happier new beginning with the Fool here as well. With a new beginning, all kinds of things will be revealed during a time of apocalypsis, from big global lies to little white ones that lace the bedroom sheets, right? Especially if third parties are present, right? Brace your, or if they would be present, maybe they would be, even if they're not right now. I feel like there's somebody who's lying around you, and we saw that when I was shuffling the other stuff. Liar was showing itself very, very, very. It was the first thing I saw. Um, Brace yourself for the horse of truth to storm your every field. And this is a good thing. I mean, sometimes a storm is needed. It's actually giving that Carrie Underwood song "Blown Away," I think it is. I might link it in the description, so definitely check that out. I feel like there's a lot of healing though coming on, and look at all that light. Look at all those fire, those flames that are burning. We have so much fire energy astrologically with Mars and Leo now, and so much moving into Aries, and yeah, this is a new beginning. And there's a need to burn away and purify. Fire can be very. It's like it cauterizes, right? It can. It might be painful. Actually, I'm seeing a scene from Fight Club now. That wound. I haven't seen the movie, so I don't know what I'm talking about. But there's something here about bearing the brunt of the pain, so you can come out stronger on the other side as well, and not being afraid to look at the darkness as well. Okay, I'm going to end it there for this bonus. I hope you enjoyed it. Please hit like, subscribe. You can get a personal using the Buy Me a Coffee link or leave a tip through there. Good luck. Take care.